So who do I think is getting an Oscar nomination next year for Best Actress? Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome to the awards contender. It is time, my friends, to talk about Best Actress, my favorite Oscars category. How is this category going to shake out at the 98th Academy Awards? There are a bunch of wonderful contenders, a lot of terrific performances that deserve to get in, but there are only 5 slots. Only 5 women can make it. Right now, around mid-November, how am I feeling? Who do I think is getting in right now? There are 4 women I'm talking about in this video I feel pretty confident about. I think they're probably getting in. The 5th place slots is where there's a lot of chaos, a lot of uncertainty. So many things can happen in that 5th place slot, as I'm going to talk about in this video. I have finally decided who I think has the best chance of getting in. Let's begin with the frontrunner, the person I think is winning the Oscar for Best Actress, Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. I mean, it makes it kind of boring, I know, in November to be saying with pretty clear certainty that Jessie Buckley is going to win. I think she's probably going to sweep. I could see her winning Best Actress in a Drama at the Globes, winning at Critics' Choice. She wins at SAG, she wins at BAFTA, and we're like, okay, I think it's going to be Jessie Buckley at the Oscars. Her film is so strong, and her performance is so freaking incredible in it. I'm just like, if Hamnet is in picture and director and supporting actor and screenplay, a few technical categories, like where do you give that movie the win? It's in Best Actress. I do think that is the performance of the year. And last year, my choice there was Mikey Madison in Anora. The year before, it was Emma Stone in Poor Things. How did those 2 women do at the Oscars? Do you guys remember? Oh yeah, they won, right? So, like, my choice for 2025 is Jessie Buckley. She broke my heart in that movie. She is so moving. It is such a beautiful performance. I just can't imagine someone else overtaking her. Right now, I think there's only one other person who can do it. One other person who can win the Oscar for Best Actress. I think it's Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, which I haven't seen yet. I'm about a week away from finally seeing that film. I will have my review for you on here, of course. I'm very excited. Early word is through the roof. Like everybody is saying, it's pretty great. Ariana Grande, I have already predicted to win Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars. If they go all in on Wicked for Good, it wins some big prizes we're not even expecting right now. And it's not just Supporting Actress for Grande, it's also Lead Actress for Erivo. I can see that reality. In a close race, Erivo does, at the end of the day, overtake Buckley. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't predict that right now. I think at the Golden Globes and Best Actress in Film, it's going to be Erivo and Buckley in those 2 categories to win. Critics' Choice, I'm pretty sure goes to Buckley, although Critics' Choice did give Best Director to Wicked last time, so, who knows, maybe something could happen there. I mean, SAG could be a question mark. SAG could be interesting. What if they went for Erivo and Best Actress and not Buckley? And then we're not sure. Then it's like, oh wow, maybe Buckley is more vulnerable than we thought. It's kind of dull, right, to suggest right now Buckley is just going to win everything, basically. She wins the Oscar. It would be the Renee Zellweger-Judy situation again. Remember that? That was very boring. She won from the Globes to the Oscars, and there was no pushback from anyone. I don't necessarily want to see that again. I would love to see some suspense along the way, like Erivo taking Best Actress at SAG. Then we'll be kind of confused. Then we'll be like, okay, we do have a race going into the Oscars. I just think at the end of the day, even if Erivo is frickin' amazing in that movie, and you could in a way be voting for her in Best Actress not just for her performance in Wicked for Good, but also for the first Wicked movie. I do think she has kind of a leg up there in a way. I just think Jessie Buckley is so devastating in Hamnet, and she's an actress who's been doing great work for many years. This is her moment. This is the movie to do it. I still think it's Buckley, but I would put Cynthia Erivo in 2nd place. In 3rd place, I have Renate Reinsve, Sentimental Value. I think she's getting in. I mean, you could argue, well, that's kind of an ensemble film. She's not like the star of it, right? I mean, I would love to know like what her percentage of screen time in the movie is. I feel like she's in it just about as much as Stellan Skarsgård. He's going supporting actor, but it would make sense to put Reinsve in supporting actress because you have two other wonderful performances in that who aren't in the movie as much. They go supporting. That makes sense to me. So that's the only hurdle in a sense, is that she's not in like the whole film. There are stretches in Sentimental Value where you don't see Renate Reinsve. That was a little disappointing to me when I saw it. Just because in like The Worst Person in the World, she is the entire show. That is her movie. That's not the case in Sentimental Value. I just think she's very good in it. She's got a couple really amazing moments, especially toward the beginning, when she can't quite go out on stage. That's a very memorable scene in the movie. And just everything she goes through with her father in that, the ending of the film is very moving. And I just think, like, if we're going to give Sentimental Value Oscar nominations in picture, director, screenplay, supporting actor, supporting actress, Renate Reinsve has to come along for the ride. I think she's deserving of it. I think she is getting in. I don't think she's going to win any major prizes this season in Best Actress. I think she'll just be nominated pretty much everywhere. She might miss out at SAG because they don't typically nominate international performances. They should, for Best Actress, Renate Reinsve. She could miss there. I think she's pretty safe at the Globes, at Critics' Choice, and BAFTA. And then I do think she gets the Oscar nomination, her very first Oscar nomination, and that'll be a celebration. I think she's so great, and I will be happy to see her get in at the Oscars for Sentimental Value. So those are the top three. I think they're pretty well safe. I think Buckley, Erivo, and Reinsve. Outside of a freaking major shocker, I think all three of them get in at the Oscars and actress. Slots 4 and 5 are a bit more up for grabs. I feel pretty confident about my fourth place slot. I've looked at some other prediction videos for actress, and some people don't even have her in. And I'm like, okay, maybe I am overthinking this. Maybe she doesn't have this locked up. But right now, guys, in my fourth place slot, I have Amanda Seyfried in The Testament of Anne Lee. I think there's a lot going for her here. I think being in a new movie from the team who did The Brutalist, that helps. That it's a Christmas Day release, that Searchlight picked it up. That's huge. Searchlight, like they had Poor Things 2 years ago. Searchlight often gets at least one of their actors into a big category at the Oscars, and Amanda Seyfried is bringing it in that film for 2.5 hours. She is basically the whole show. There is an ensemble, there are other people in the movie, but she is the focus all the way through, and it is, I think, her best performance to date. She's a previous nominee for Mank in Supporting Actress. I think it's time for her first Best Actress nomination. She sings in the film. It's a very physical performance at times. And I just think with Searchlight bringing it out at the end of December, like she's guaranteed to get in at the Globes for sure. And then, I mean, she might miss 1 or 2 places along the way. If The Testament of Anne Lee doesn't do well on Oscar nominations morning, it doesn't get into picture, it doesn't get into screenplay, it only gets like 1 or 2 technical nominations and nothing else, then I think she might be vulnerable. But in some ways, I feel like we might be underestimating The Testament of Anne Lee. It might do better on Oscar nominations morning than some of us are expecting, but I just think if you're going to give that film one big Oscar nomination, it's Best Actress for Amanda Seyfried. And I think it's going to happen. I will be surprised, guys, if she misses. I know the movie is flawed. It's not going to be in my top 10 favorites of 2025. The movie is imperfect, but her performance is outstanding, and I think she deserves to be there. I think she's going to make it. She could miss. It will not be the shocker of the year if Amanda Seyfried misses at the Oscars. If the film ultimately is just too divisive, too many people are like, no, this movie doesn't work. We're not going to nominate it. We're not going to nominate her. I could see that maybe happening. I just think her work in that film is too good to ignore. I think she's getting the Oscar nomination for Best Actress. So those are my main 4. Those are 4 women I am predicting right now to get into Best Actress. Who am I predicting for that 5th place slots? Now it gets tricky, guys. Now it's like, man, I can make a case for at least 4 or 5 of these other contenders to slip in there to get that 5th place nomination. And again, I've gone back and forth on this. Let's talk our way through some of these other contenders. Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love, which I just reviewed for the channel. A film I very much liked. I didn't love it. She is the best thing in it. It's the best performance she has given in the 2020s, for sure. It's probably the best she's been since her Oscar nominations period, right? Of Joy and American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook and Winter's Bone. This is Jennifer Lawrence at her very best. So why am I not predicting Jennifer Lawrence? I just think the movie is too weird, not quite strong enough. You know, she's really good in it, but she is playing a character who is similar to at least one other kind of performance we got this year that does have more buzz, I think, right now. It's sad to me in a way because I do think Lawrence deserves to be there, having just seen the movie a few days ago. Like, she's freaking great in it. It is a bonkers, amazing performance from Jennifer Lawrence, and she hasn't gotten an Oscar nomination in a decade now, since Joy. It's been a long time. It seems like this is the kind of performance that should get her in. It's very bold, very gutsy. She's got at least 5 or 6 moments in the movie that makes your jaw drop. I mean, she's that good in it. So I think she gets the Golden Globe nomination. After that, she might fall off because the movie, I think, is flawed enough. You know, not a lot of people are going to see Die My Love. You know, it just opened at the box office to like decent numbers, but not great. You know, I think come January, it's just not going to be strong enough of a movie to get her in, especially in a very competitive field for that 5th place slot. You know, if it was just Jessie Buckley and Cynthia Erivo, and like anybody really could get into 3rd and 4th and 5th place for Best Actress, then I would say, well, maybe she has a chance. I don't think it's happening, guys. I am sorry to say. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic in Die My Love. I just don't think she's going to quite reach the Oscar nomination. Tessa Thompson gives a wonderful performance in Hedda. I feel like she should be a part of the conversation. Again, the movie I don't think is strong enough to get her in. I saw that at TIFF, and I liked the performances in it. The movie didn't hold my attention very often, and I did give it kind of a mixed review. And it's like, well, like can a performance in a movie I don't love, get in? Yes, it can, as I'll talk about. But I just think Hedda kind of quietly dropping on Prime Video at the end of October, it just doesn't have a lot of buzz right now. I will be surprised if Tessa Thompson shows up anywhere big past the Golden Globes. I think she can get in there in actress in a drama, and that would be well-deserved. But I do think that is going to be the end of the line for Tessa Thompson. Julia Roberts After the Hunt. If that movie wasn't so terrible, right? If that movie was better, if I liked it, if not loved it, I think she would have a shot. Julia Roberts has been an awards darling going back decades. She hasn't been nominated in a while, and this is one of her best performances. Forget the rest of the movie, just her acting in this film, After the Hunt, is quite spectacular. There's at least 3 or 4 scenes in that where I was like, whoa, man, she is bringing it. We haven't seen Julia Roberts be this good in a long time. And guys, I don't even know at this point if she gets the Golden Globe nomination for drama and actress. She might miss there, which is crazy to me, you know? August Osage County is just a decent film. I didn't love that one. It was good. It was entertaining. But she got in at the Oscars for that in supporting actress. And she might not even get the Globe nomination for After the Hunt, which is wild to me because she's really great in that film. I feel like she should get in somewhere. We shall see what happens. I still think she might get in at the Globes, but the Oscar nomination for Julia Roberts, boy, that was something I was hoping for, anticipating all throughout 2025. And then the movie premiered at Venice, and then I saw the film, and I was like, sorry, Julia, it's not happening. Sydney Sweeney in Christie. I have heard her name floated as a potential Oscar nominee. I was never on that train, even before the movie opened, just a few days ago, and bombed, spectacularly. Bombed really hard. I think the film is good. It wasn't great. It was very familiar. It's engaging at times, and she's good in it. It's a good performance from Sydney Sweeney, kind of a physical transformation. The first third of it, she doesn't really look like herself at all. It's a physical performance. She's boxing in a bunch of scenes, and some of the later scenes are really disturbing. So like on paper, Sydney Sweeney makes sense, but it's not going to happen, guys. The movie's just not good enough. It's not doing well at the box office. I don't see that reality where Sydney Sweeney shows up at the Oscars. Maybe she can get in at SAG or something. She gets like the 5th place slot at SAG, maybe scores that 6th place slot in Actress at Critics' Choice or something, maybe. But I don't see that happening. I think Christie gets 0 Oscar nominations. I don't even have her in the second 5, actually. Like, I think she's like in like slot 11 or 12 for me right now. I don't think Sydney Sweeney gets the Oscar nomination. Kate Hudson's Song Sung Blue seemed to be, for a couple weeks there, a possibility. She's so wonderful and Almost Famous, got an Oscar nomination 25 years ago for that. I don't know about you, I have been waiting for like the next Kate Hudson like Oscar play. There hasn't been very much the last 2 decades plus, but she's very talented. I've always really liked her as an actress. I'm like, if she can just get a really great screenplay, a good director, a really good project, she can get another Oscar nomination. It sounds like she's the best part of Song Sung Blue, like she's the best thing about it, but everything I've heard about it, read about it, say it's just like an okay movie. It's nothing really that memorable or great or anything. So I think at this stage of the game, to get the Oscar nomination, you have to be in a film that many people really adore for various reasons. It can't just be a middling drama movie that some people like, some people don't. It's not enough to get the Oscar nomination these days. It has to be something better than that. So I am sensing right now she gets the Globe nomination and nothing else. I think Kate Hudson gets the Globe nomination for actress in a musical comedy. She won't win for that. She's not going to beat Cynthia Erivo for that. And then that will be the end of the road for Hudson. Like, I know some people have floated her getting in at the Oscars and stuff. And sight unseen, I still haven't seen the film. I mean, maybe I'll watch it and be like, oh my God, yes, give her all the trophies. I don't think I'm going to feel that way. I don't think Kate Hudson gets the Oscar nomination, sadly. I do think right now there are 3 other big contenders for Best Actress. One of these 3 women can get in. And the question is, like, which one is it going to be? Before I get to the final 3 huge contenders for actress, let me just run through a few other great performances, people who have been in the conversation. They might show up somewhere this award season. You have Eva Victor, Sorry Baby. She wrote and directed that and starred in it and did an amazing job in all 3 components. Like, what an amazing film she did. I really loved that. It was my favorite film out of Sundance. I would love to see Eva Victor get in for Best Actress somewhere this season. That would be inspired. That would be fantastic. So fingers crossed. I think if there was any possibility of her getting an Oscar nomination for Sorry Baby, it would be an original screenplay, not an actress, but she's great in that film as a performer as well. Dakota Johnson, Materialists. I thought like last summer maybe she could get a Globe nomination in comedy musical. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. It's just, there's just way too many contenders right now, like in both drama and comedy musical. Like, I don't think Johnson shows up anywhere. I thought she was very good in Materialists. That's probably the movie of 2025 I love more than most people, I watched it again on HBO Max the other night. Very much enjoyed it a second time. I think Celine's song is a true original, and I think that movie is great. Dakota Johnson, she probably doesn't get anything this season, but she would be worthy. I really liked her performance in that. Laura Dern, Is This Thing On? I don't think anything's going to happen for Laura Dern this award season for Is This Thing On or Jay Kelly. I'm just not hearing like rumblings, oh, she's definitely getting into supporting actress for Jay Kelly, or that she's definitely getting into lead actress for Is This Thing On. I still haven't seen either movie, so I kind of have to check them out to give you my full assessments. But I don't know, I've heard from a couple people she's really good in Is This Thing On, and maybe could be a play in supporting actress. because she's going lead for that, it's just not going to happen. I think if anything happens this award season for Is This Thing On, it's going to be for Will Arnett in lead actor. That's how I'm feeling about that right now. Emma Mackey in James L. Brooks' newest film, Ella McKay, which is very confusing to me. Like, the lead actress in that film, her name is very close to the title character. You know, there's just like a few letters off, so that makes that kind of confusing. I don't know what the thinking was behind that. It's like, just call the movie like her name in real life, you know, just go with it. I don't know. So I felt like I had to mention her because it is James L. Brooks. I haven't seen any like word about that movie. It might just crash and burn, but maybe she can get like a Globe nomination or something. Maybe she will show up somewhere. The trailer has done nothing for me. I don't know about you. That movie looks like kind of intolerable to me. So, I mean, I'm like, you know, maybe she'll get like a Razzie nomination. Maybe it won't be the Globes, you know, I don't know. I don't think she gets in at the Oscars for that. Now, in my ridiculously early Oscar predictions video I made way back in March, I remember to this day, in Best Actress, I had June Squibb for Eleanor the Great and Lucy Liu for Rosemead, and both of those movies have completely fallen off the map, right? Like, Eleanor the Great at least got like kind of a theatrical release. I think it was in my town for 1 week. It was here very briefly, and then it was gone. And, you know, June Squibb, she's like, what, 95, 96? She is up there. And she's leading a movie directed by Scarlett Johansson. It premiered at Cannes. Like, on paper, it made sense to me. Like, maybe she could get into Best Actress. The movie, from what I've heard, is just not very good. Like, I was planning on seeing it at TIFF, and then I heard such negativity about it that I skipped it, and I still haven't seen it. So, unfortunately, June Squibb and Best Actress, outside of like maybe a Globes nomination, is not going to happen. And then Lucy Liu Rosemead. I adore Lucy Liu. I think she is such a fantastic actress. Underrated oftentimes. Like, she doesn't get a lot of amazing parts. And I was hearing these rumblings about her dramatic performance in this indie film Rosemead early on in the year. It premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, 2 solid reviews and stuff. And then just nothing, right? Months of nothing. A trailer just dropped a few days ago. I watched it. It looks pretty good. But it's a very small distributor. I don't even know if they're going to give it much of a theatrical release. So sadly, I don't think Lucy Liu happens for Rosemead. Maybe like Film Independent Spirit Awards or something. But nothing more than that. And before I move to my final 3 contenders, I have to mention, I have finally seen it, you guys. Sally Hawkins is great in Bring Her Back. It's not an easy watch. It made me very uncomfortable, nauseous at times. But boy, that is a terrific performance from 2-time Oscar nominee Sally Hawkins. You know, if the movie wasn't so disturbing, if it had come out maybe later in 2025, maybe we'd be talking about her a bit more. I just think the movie is too out there. Like it's not very palatable for awards voters that Sally Hawkins shows up anywhere. But if you want to do kind of a deep cut of a nomination in Best Actress this year, Sally Hawkins would be an inspired choice. Alright guys, that takes me to the final 3 contenders. One of these 3 women I'm going to predict to get in at the Oscars and Best Actress. The other 2, as of now, I will be predicting to miss. And I have been going back and forth. There are pros and cons to each of these 3 contenders. Let's get into it, starting with Emma Stone, Bugonia. There's a lot going for Emma Stone here. There's a lot. It's a really great film from Yorgos Lanthimos. I enjoyed it a lot. She is bringing it. It is a bold, confident performance. You know, there's a lot going on with what she has to do in that film. It's a physical transformation. She shaves her head. She's got a different look for a lot of the movie. You know, and so much of it is dialogue scenes between her and Jesse Plemons. They are electric. She's doing great work in this film. The ending is very memorable, like what she has to do in those final few minutes. It seems like, especially because she's an awards darling, has won Best Actress twice at the Oscars, this is one of her best performances. When you look at her 4 Oscar nominations for acting, it seems like her work in Bugonia should be the 5th, that she should be there. And I feel like if the movie at least gets into adapted screenplay, 2 or 3 technical nominations, she can easily slip into actress. I mean, I can see a reality where she has an easier chance getting in at the Oscars in actress over Amanda Seyfried, The Testament of Anne Lee. Oscar nominations morning, Seyfried misses, Stone gets in, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't going to be Seyfried after all. I don't know, there are some cons to Emma Stone as well. I mean, she's been nominated so much, she just won her second Oscar. There might be the thinking we've given her enough, like we don't need to nominate her again and again, make her the new Meryl Streep, where like if she's really great in a film, we nominate her again. Is Emma Stone in that league now, where if she's great in something, she gets the Oscar nomination, regardless of the competition? Maybe. I mean, if Begonia slips into Best Picture, if it gets like the 10th place slot in Picture, then I think Emma Stone absolutely gets the Oscar nomination. But I'm not feeling super confident Begonia makes it into Picture. Her 4 acting nominations at the Oscars have all been for a film that got into Picture. And it's just like, especially the third act of Begonia, it gets so weird, so out there. I didn't really get like Oscar vibes from the movie as a whole, like in picture, director. It's not going to be a film for everyone. So I think like the weirdness of the movie might put some voters off, and just her being nominated all over the place, winning so much. There might be that thinking this time around, we don't need to give Emma Stone an Oscar nomination for this movie. It doesn't need to happen. You know, if I felt pretty confident Begonia was getting into picture and director, I would be predicting her in this video, probably over Seyfried maybe. I don't know, I'm not feeling overly confident Stone gets in. If she makes it, I will not be surprised. I'll be like, yep. If she does get in, she's going to have 0 shot in hell of winning. She has no shot to win anything this season in actress. It would just be the nomination. Speaking of August Osage County, it would be similar to how Meryl Streep got into Best Actress for August Osage County 2 years after she won for The Iron Lady. Like, had no shot in hell of winning 2013 for August Osage County, but got in again due to the strength of her performance. It would be similar to that. Emma Stone getting in just 2 years after winning Best Actress at the Oscars for Poor Things. She gets in again for Begonia. Well deserved. She's great in the film. Will not win. I don't know. I'm floating her around 6th place right now. I'm going to have to see like how the movie does at the Globes, at Critics' Choice, at SAG. We won't know BAFTA nominations, so that's going to make things a little bit trickier this year. We will have SAG nominations before Oscar nominations, so like if Emma Stone gets in at the Globes and Critics' Choice and SAG, you know, I might have to predict Stone like right before Oscar nominations morning. But right now, I do think there's just enough going against Begonia that I think she could miss at the end of the day, although she's very close. Chase Infinity, one battle after another. Is that going to happen? Is this film getting into picture, director, actor, supporting actress, adapted screenplay, a variety of technical categories, and Chase Infinity is going to miss the nomination at the Oscars in lead actress? I don't know. I feel like the strength of one battle after another, especially if it ends up winning Best Picture and Best Director, I feel like the strength of the film can get her in to that 5th place slot, even though she would also not have a chance to win. I think it might be odd because I do think she is the heart and soul of that movie. She's one of my favorite things about One Battle After Another. She's great in it. You know, I think she should get into actress in a way that would be a well-deserved nomination. I think she would be locked up for a nomination in supporting actress. I think she'd be in there like 100%. Going lead is trickier. There is, in a way, more competition there. I do think Chase Infinity faces a few problems to get the Best Actress nomination. One is she's very young and very new. You know, that's always something. Like, if she was a bit more established, I would feel a little bit stronger about it. I think a big problem is she is definitely like a member of an ensemble in that film. She's not the focus. It's not Mikey, Madison, and Nora, where she is the entire movie. One battle after another, she plays a very significant role, but it does bounce around to a bunch of characters throughout the film. And that's what gives me pause. I mean, she ends the film, like we end on her, which is important. But I don't know, like I've gone back and forth on this. I'm not feeling it, guys. I think she shows up a few places along the way, but she probably misses the Oscar nomination because it's just too competitive. There are a couple other big performances from actresses who have been around longer, who are in more of their film, where the camera is on their face basically the entire movie. I just don't know if there's going to be a lot of passion to give Chase Infinity a lead actress Oscar nomination. I don't really see it right now. I think the main reason she gets in, if it does happen, is based on the strength of the film. She gets swept up with everything one battle after another. I mean, something definitely going for her is that everybody is going to be watching that film, right? They're going to be considering it in picture and director and a bunch of acting categories. So everybody will have their eyeballs on that movie. And when they're filling out their ballots, they might just be like, well, I didn't see every title. Like I saw one battle after another and Chase Infinity is great in it. Let me give her a nomination. That might well happen, and that's, I think, why she would get the Oscar nomination. That's why I have been floating her. Like a day ago, guys, a day ago, I had Chase Infinity in my 5th place slots. I just thought, based on the strength of the film, she probably gets in. But I don't know. I can see her missing. I can see her being like the one really big, terrific performance from one battle after another that just doesn't quite make it into like an individual nomination at the Oscars. I would love to see her get in. Like that will very much please me. I don't know. I think she might miss. The person, guys, I am predicting in this early Oscar predictions video for Best Actress is not Emma Stone. It's not Chase Infinity. I am going with Rose Byrne. If I had legs, I'd kick you. I am going with Rose Byrne right now, which is not a very safe prediction. There are a bunch of cons to her potentially getting it, and let me run through them, right? It's a small indie film that really at the Oscars will probably just be a Best Actress play. You could argue maybe it has a chance in original screenplay, maybe. If they really love the film, it's possible, but it's probably just going to be a lone acting nomination for Rose Byrne. That's a vulnerable place to be. It's a very chaotic and stressful movie that's not for everybody. It wore me out at Sundance last January. I mean, it was my 4th screening of the day. I saw it at night in the 2nd row where I was like this for 2 hours, however long the movie is. And at the hour mark, I was kind of done. I was like, I can't take this movie anymore, even though I recognize the dramatic power of Rose Byrne in that film. It is her best performance to date, and I've seen her in a lot of films, in comedies, in horror, in television projects. She's been around for a long time. I do think the film, though, is not going to be for everybody. So that's a problem. And just her being the only play, like at the Oscars, it happens almost every year, right? We get someone that's like the lone nominee for their movie, but it is tricky and it's hard to be overly confident, right? If Bugonia is going to get like 3 or 4 other nominations, if One Battle After Another is coming for 10, 11, 12 Oscar nominations, on paper, it kind of makes more sense in Best Actress for that final slot to predict Emma Stone or Chase Infinity. Why am I going with Rose Byrne? There's, I would say, like 3 big reasons. One is she is the face of that film. The camera is right on her close up for almost the entire movie. Is there a scene in that she's not in? She is the entire movie, and I think if you admire the film, her performance, she's definitely near the top of your Best Actress contenders for this year. It is a spectacular performance. I mean, it is a wow performance. Definitely like one of the big critics' picks, I think, for Best Actress this year. We are going to see her show up a few places. I mean, not to say that the Gotham Awards should like assist you in your Oscar predictions and stuff, but the movie like overperformed there. She got into lead performance, the movie's in picture and director and screenplay and stuff. So there is going to be passion for that film and that performance. She has been out there, like I see her in videos all the time. She just did Hot Ones the other day. Like, she is getting her face out there. She is promoting the film. I think Rose Byrne is going to be making the rounds the next few weeks. I think she wants this Oscar nomination. She's been around for a long time, has never been nominated. This is the movie to make it happen. So she is going to be campaigning for it, and she will be everywhere, I think, the next few weeks. Conan O'Brien is in the film. Like, he's very good in a dramatic role. He is hosting the Oscars. You know, I've always thought, you know, maybe that's nothing, but he's in that movie. He's hosting the show in March. So, like, there could be a correlation there, I feel. I feel like there might be some support for Rose Byrne because of Conan O'Brien being in the film, being very good in that film, to give it, like, a little bit of a platform and stuff. But you know what it is, guys? Do you know what, like, is the main reason I am leaning toward Rose Byrne to get that 5th place nomination? Here it is. And it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know if anyone else is thinking this way about Best Actress. Let's say Rose Byrne misses, and the final slot in Best Actress at the Oscars goes to Emma Stone or Chase Infinity. All 5 nominees in Best Actress at the 98th Academy Awards would be under 40 years old. And like just a few hours ago, I was scrolling through the last couple decades. I could not find a Best Actress lineup at the Oscars going back 30 years where everybody in the category was under 40. The closest we have had in the 21st century was 2002. 4 of the nominees were in their 30s and 1 was in her early 40s, Julianne Moore for Far From Heaven. I know Oscar records are always made to be broken. Maybe we will have this random year in Best Actress where everybody is young. But like we have Jessie Buckley, she is in her 30s. Cynthia Erivo is in her 30s. Renata Reinsva is in her 30s. Amanda Seyfried is in her 30s. If Emma Stone gets in, everyone in the category will be in their 30s. Chase Infinity is in her 20s. Rose Byrne is not that old. She's like 46. She's like in her mid-40s, so she's not like really the veteran of the category. She's not like 60, 70 or something. But I just think it's weird, guys. I think it's weird if nobody in Best Actress at the Oscars next year is over 40. So that's what tips the scales for me a little bit, even by a smidge, even though I very much believe Emma Stone and Chase Infinity have very good shots of getting in. I feel like Rose Byrne, in a field of mostly younger talents, I feel like her history in film and TV, she's been around a long time doing excellent work, going back decades. I mean, I loved her in Damages with Glenn Close. When did that premiere? 2007? Like 18 years ago? She is great in Bridesmaids, right? Like that is a freaking amazing performance from Rose Byrne. She does a variety of dramatic and comedic performances for both the big screen and the small screen. And I think there is a lot of love for Rose Byrne in the industry. And this feels like the moment we give her a big nomination. She does her career best work in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I mean, it is quite the performance. Like whether you like or love or hate that movie or whatever, I definitely had some issues with it. I plan on watching it a second time when I'm rested, when I am not so close to the screen, when I know the kind of movie I'm about to get. I think I will like it more the second time, but no matter how I feel about the movie as a whole, like her performance, it's one of the best we've had in 2025. She is bringing it. It's the best thing she's ever done, and I do think she's getting the Oscar nomination for Best Actress. Even though there's a lot of cons against her, especially her being like the one big play at the Oscars for the movie, that's what does give me some pause. I just think based on the strength of the performance that she's in, the entire thing, and amazing every step of the way, and that she would be the only nominee and Best Actress at the Oscars over 40. That she'd be the only one who's been around for a while, like who's been doing good work for many decades and has never gotten her flowers like come award season. That's where I think, just by a little, Byrne takes the edge and gets that 5th place slot in Best Actress at the 98th Academy Awards. So that's how I'm feeling right now about Best Actress. I'm very curious to hear your input. Like, who do you have in 4th place and 5th place in Best Actress? I'm sure, like, we're not all going to align right now. There's a bunch of great contenders, as I've been talking about throughout this video, But these are the 5 I am feeling right now in mid-November the most confident about. So again, my early Oscar predictions and Best Actress are Jessie Buckley, Hamnet, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, Renata Reinsve, Sentimental Value, Amanda Seyfried, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing, and let me know in the comments below who are you currently predicting to get into Best Actress at the Oscars next year, and stay tuned for my early Oscar predictions video all about Best Director. I'll see you next time at the Awards Contender.